866-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Winter in almost 14 years, I couldn't believe you kept a smile. I can't believe it. Rod Stewart couldn't believe it when he wrote it. Hunker down, ladies and gentlemen. It is cold outside. Some of yous may not have winter jackets. Frankly, you probably shouldn't, considering we live here in the Deep South. But it is blistering outside. So be careful. Drive safe. My goal is to entertain. And you can let me know how I do at 641-1010 on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. That's my goal. That's my attempt every single show. Some are better than others. Let's face it, some just flat out suck. But I'm going to come back the next day, and I'm going to give it that old college try, right? I'm going to look at things and say what went right, what went wrong. In the meantime, we don't need you to get hurt out there driving. Some black ice coming, maybe some flurries coming. Some of you got to relish in this, right, Dylan? Have you ever seen the snow before?
I remember about 13 years ago, snow flurries.
Okay.
In Jacksonville, but the snow that wasn't, it melted as soon as it hit the ground. So the answer is pretty much no.
I saw it somewhere that in 1989 it snowed in Tallahassee, but it was like mid-December, and I was already back in Boston for Christmas vacation. I've never seen the snow around here. It's cool for a little bit. It really is. And then it becomes a total nuisance. But anyway, we just want you to be safe. I know a lot of things canceled tomorrow, and nonetheless, do your part to help out your neighbor, and certainly stay warm. Okay, one of my favorite things to do is complain, and 100% of my complaining is about sports. It really is. Okay, I'm not going to complain about the weather. I'm not going to complain that it's cold. I don't complain about anything that is not sports related. But enough is enough is enough. Ohio State won the national title last night. They did it in a dominant fashion, even though the Irish did come back late in the third and into the fourth quarter. 34-23. They are your national champions. And, I get it. You can absolutely say, after losing to Michigan for a fourth year in a row, where that is their divisional rival. They were a 20-point favorite at home. They lost in the horseshoe to go to 10-2. If that had been a normal year, they never would have gotten into a 4-team college football playoff. They did not play in the Big Ten title game. They ended up being ranked 6th in America, and they win the national title as an 8 seed. This is what we wanted. So much has been about the top 2 teams and the top 4 teams. I just mentioned 1989. I'll tell you something right now. Florida State began the 1989 season by losing right here in Jacksonville to Lord Favre. Okay? A week later, they lost to Clemson and Terry Allen. Back in a time where Florida State lost to no one in Tallahassee, not named the University of Miami. At the end of 1989, Florida State would have kicked the living snot out of any team in America. They would have won a national title. We have always yelled about a change. Now we got a change. And look at what Ohio State did. They beat Tennessee 42-17. They beat Oregon 41-21. They beat Texas 28-14. They beat Notre Dame 34-23. They beat all 4 of their opponents by double digits. They also, during the regular season, beat number 5 Indiana 38-15, and number 3 Penn State 20-13. This is what we wanted. When you get hot at the right time in the NHL, people accept it. When you get hot at the right time in the NBA, it's accepted. 2 years ago, all of the great teams in Major League Baseball had to sit through a first-round bye. They all got knocked out in the second round. Some complaints, but typically in baseball, once again, it's getting hot at the right time. No one has an issue with how things work out in the playoffs. Detroit got a week off. They lost. Were they distracted because Aaron Glenn is interviewing? Are they distracted because Ben Johnson is interviewing? Perhaps. But in every other sport, it plays itself out, and the people are happy. Why in college football are there still an incredible amount of complaints? Leave it alone. It worked. Ohio State was the best team in college football. If you look at the final season rankings, this is incredible for Ohio State. Okay? They beat number 8 Indiana, number 7 Tennessee, number 5 Notre Dame, number 4 Penn State, number 3 Texas, and number 1 Oregon. The only team in the top 8 they did not beat was a team they did not play in number 2 Georgia. College football 12-team playoff is better than anything that we have had. This is a game that is so upside down, and it's really sad. Everything else in the sport right now is awful. The NIL, the transfer portal, the coming and the going, the lack of love and respect for any of these other bowls. College football is broken, but this is the one thing that you can hang your hat on. Will they tweak it? Sure. Absolutely, they're going to tweak it. Go back and look at first-round games. All dominant performances, right? Look at Wild Card Weekend. It was the same thing. Yet, NFL fans, even if it's blowout after blowout during Wild Card Weekend, it's accepted. College football fans, and it's not always the fans, it's the media, can't wait to find something else to complain about. That's it for the college game. And I just think we're in a better situation than we once were. Sit back and enjoy it a little bit. Ohio State, the best team this year in college football. I don't even think it's an argument. So, all right, let's get on to the NFL. We're going to hear from Tom McManus coming up in about 15 minutes. We know they're down to 3 candidates. You know, it feels like it's really all about Liam Cohen and that Robert Saleh becomes the fallback guy, if you will. That is what most believe at this particular time. I do find it interesting, however, that Bovada, which is a gaming service, right, a handicap service, did list this earlier today. If you look at what you can bet on with their website, Liam Cohen and Patrick Graham presently are both $2.25 to the dollar. Translation, you lay down $100. If it's announced that Liam Cohen is the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, you get $225 plus your $100. If Patrick Graham is announced as the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, you get back $225 plus your $100. Robert Saleh plus $325. Joe Brady plus $450. Aaron Glenn plus $1,000. There's a lot of rumors that the Jets are close. The Jets are hiring Lance Newmark, general manager who spent 26 seasons in Detroit. He is currently the assistant general manager of the Washington Commanders. He is on his way to the New York Jets. Of course, he does have a great working relationship and a ton of knowledge about Aaron Glenn. Looks like that is going to happen in the very near future there in New Jersey. One other note rolled in not too long ago, Josh McDaniels returning to the NFL. He's going to work for Mike Vrabel as the offensive coordinator in New England. Let's get back to the Jaguars here. Patrick Graham, This is shocking to me. And you can take it for what it is whenever you look at a book and whenever you look at things that come out of Las Vegas. But the deal is they're always right. They are connected. So what do they know that we don't know that involves Patrick Graham? To me, Patrick Graham is a long shot. He really is. He gets an interview, and that'll be the case tomorrow. Actually, it's Cohen tomorrow. It's Patrick Graham Thursday, and it's Robert Saleh on Friday. Those are the 3 scheduled interviews for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have legitimately given Patrick Graham no shot at all of getting this job. Right? We went through it on Friday, and I said in my estimation, it went Cohen number 1. This was not my choice as to who I thought would get the job. This was how I think it actually played out to get the job. I had Cohen 1, Saleh 2, and I had Ben Johnson 3. All right? Well, we found out about Ben Johnson, and it was Diana Rossini who said that the Jaguars didn't have it set up the way, in line that he was looking for. A lot of people immediately believe the translation there is that Trent Baalke is still the general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For what it's worth, it goes completely against what Shad Khan said 2 weeks ago yesterday. Remember, Shad Khan said he did not think that Baalke's presence would impact their ability to hire a top coach. Well, the top coach was Ben Johnson. They may still get Liam Cohen, and he may end up being the better coach. Doesn't erase the fact that the top candidate in everyone's mind was Johnson, and he's not here. He is, in fact, in Chicago. But Patrick Graham, I kind of had Joe Brady in as maybe a number 4, or maybe Aaron Glenn would come in as a number 4. Never saw this with Patrick Graham, so obviously he must have done something right, interviewed well, and again, he is going to get a second opportunity coming up on Thursday. So everything right here today points towards Cohen. And I talked with quite a few people again today. How can you fire Todd Bowles? It would be a total mess for the Bucs organization to do this now. I feel as though they missed their window. Unless there was some sort of agreement and this became a Bruce Arians story where all of a sudden he is willingly moving to the front office, which I don't believe. Todd Bowles, the players like him. He does have his issues. Talked to a few Tampa people today and a few other people. The one thing that sticks out that really rears its ugly head with Todd Bowles is he's terrible as far as an in-game manager of the clock, both on offense and defense. And if he did a better job, they could have knocked off the Commanders a week ago. Yet you look at Todd Bowles, and this comes with the understanding, again, that the Glacier family, man, they've done some crazy stuff. They fired Tony Dungy and traded for John Gruden. They fired Lovie Smith and, hired Dirk Cutter, promoted Dirk Cutter. Could they actually do this again? I think Todd Bowles has the locker room. I think Todd Bowles has the respect of this football team. Todd Bowles, 8-9 in 2022, won the division. Todd Bowles, 9-8 in 2023, won the division. Todd Bowles this year, 10-7, won the division. He's won 3 consecutive divisional titles in the NFC South with a combined record of 27-24. Think about that. 1-3 in the playoffs. Okay? You add all that up. This guy's 1 game above 500. He has a career record in Tampa of 28-27. This is Doug Peterson-esque before, certainly what happened this year. Peterson was what? 9-8, 10-9 if you add the playoffs, and then 9-8. Peterson was just barely above 500. All right? Won an AFC South and then wasn't able to grab a wild card the year after beginning 8-3, finishing 9-8. That's Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is 28-27. Okay? But he's won 3 straight divisional titles. I know that people in Tampa are continuously holding out hope here that something will happen. I think every hour that passes by and you hear nothing coming out of the Bay, it's great news for Jaguar fans. Right now, it really feels like Liam Cohen is going to be the next head coach. And, you know, there was also leakage with him. Now, he interviewed well, whatever it was. It's the only candidate where anything leaked. And I know when things leak around here, the automatic assumption is it was a bulky leak. I don't know that. Now, I know that that's the thought out of most of you, but I don't know if, in fact, that is the case. But how else does this leak? Tony Khan? Shad Khan? Liam Cohen's agent? I mean, would an agent leak something like this if it wasn't true? You know, it's a small category of people that can actually come out with this. And Albert Breer had it. And some others have had it as well. So, you know, when you connect the dots, it is mysterious. It really is. And I understand why the automatic assumption is it is the current Jaguars general manager. Again, we don't know that. Okay? No one knows that for sure. But it certainly feels like it. All right, let's talk to Tom McManus. He's going to join us here on the other side. Opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. A lot of good folks get taken advantage of financially when it comes to cataract surgery. Why is that? Well, we have no idea what a cataract surgery is all about. Here's what I'll tell you about Shmunez Vision, which is different from a lot of other places. You'll hear from the doctors who will perform the surgery. Some of these practices you visit, they'll tell you that you need cataract surgery. Then when you immediately want to ask a question, they'll say, I can't do that. You go down the hall and talk to a surgery counselor. Well, at Shmunez Vision, they don't want you talking to a surgery counselor. They want you talking directly to them. That's Dr. Neil Shmunez. That's Dr. Catherine Shmunez. That's Dr. John Hunt. Combined more than 30 years worth of experience, whether it's cataract surgery, laser eye surgery, or anything else that you, in fact, may need or want. Check them out today. Just go to Shmunez Vision online, or you can go to Instagram and get all of the testimonials as well at Shmunez Vision. All right, really looking forward to the next couple of hours here. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. This is a workman edition of Into the Night. We're going to try to figure out exactly what is going on with your Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's bring in a former linebacker. He wore the number 55. Tom McManus joins Ballou next.
Hi, I'm Tom Jackson.
This is Shannon Sharp.
I'm Mike McCarthy. You're listening to 1010XL.
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 92.5 FM.
Denny Thompson here. Tyson Sound & Security has a huge prize sweepstakes now through the big game. I'm talking a 75-inch loaded Samsung TV with 3D surround sound, a sound bar with wireless subwoofer, and installation is included. Stop by the new showroom, check out the setup, and drop your name in the box for your chance to win the $2,500 prize now through February 9th. Tyson Sound & Security now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Ballou here for Shmunez Vision. Why Shmunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Shmunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Shmunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit ShmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Don't ignore plumbing leaks. They can lead to mold and mildew or structural damage and drain your wallet. So when you have a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
1010XL celebrates high scorers.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes.
In class and on the court.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
The Golf Club of Southampton has plenty going on, from a great round to a round with your buds, soaking up some football and great grub. Every Saturday and Sunday at Southampton, enjoy their game day special. Wings tossed in your favorite sauce and a cold pitcher of beer. Membership opportunities to take advantage of, too. Join Southampton with a paid initiation, and you'll get a $500 gift card. Perfect for golf, pro shop purchases, or the clubhouse. Check it out. It's all happening at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Congratulations to Ichiro, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner. Those three have just been voted in to the 2025 Major League Baseball Hall of Fame class. Ichiro ended up being one vote short of a unanimous selection. Some of those hardcore writers, right? I'm going to start with black coffee, and then I'm going to wrap up the evening with nothing but scotch. And I will not vote for Ichiro to make it into the Hall of Fame. It's amazing. I don't think we've ever had a unanimous. Babe Ruth wasn't unanimous. Henry Aaron wasn't unanimous. Willie Mays wasn't unanimous. I have to go back and look at Billy Wagner. I know I did this a few months ago. But they are getting a little bit more lenient as far as those are making their way in. Ichiro, there's no question about it, well-deserving. Guy had more than 3,000 career hits, and he was able to do it after the age of 27. All right, CC Sabathia as well. Billy Wagner joins them. Those three going to Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame.
Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Tommy McManus is with us. You can get Tom McManus and his podcast. Just go to 1010xl.com or Twitter and pick it up as well at 1010xl. Tommy, a lot of fun as always. How you been?
Ricky, good to be with you, my man. Happy or good evening to you on a wet and cold and January night.
I was going to say, you grew up in Chicago. I grew up in Boston. You went to school in Boston. I left here and went to your hometown for 7 years. We should be used to this, but that ain't the case for me, man. I'm a wimp in this cold weather.
Yeah, the blood gets thin, no question about it. But when you complain about, how cold it is here, they just tell you it's like negative 15 up there. So you're like, okay, I get it. It's all relative, right? It's all relative, but hopefully it gets out of here quick and we get the sun shining back.
All right, Ben Johnson is not coming here. He's going to the Chicago Bears. Your thoughts when you heard that yesterday?
Yeah, I'm not totally surprised. Look, that's a decent job, too. You've got some weaponry on offense. Got a young QB that's 3 years younger than Trevor, who they all say is a generational talent like Trevor was coming out of college. So I get that. You hear that it was Balky. I'm sure that played a part of it. Look, when you go visit these teams, Rick, as you know, you're checking out the GM yourself. If it's not a brand new GM or coming with you, you want to make sure that you fit with that GM. And that just because everyone says, Balky's this or Balky's that, and it may be so, but I think there's always more to the story. I think that probably might have been part of it. He got along with Ryan Poles a little bit better, but remind everybody, people up in Chicago, media, fans included, they were sitting there going, we don't want him picking the next coach. We don't like him as a GM.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as much hatred, quote unquote, here in Jacksonville, but they were saying the same things. Ben didn't seem to have a problem with going to play for Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
So I think there's more to the whole thing. Whatever. Good riddance. Smell you later. You're not our guy. And whoever that guy may be, it's going to be like the normal cycle here. We're going to love him. And we're going to cheer for him. We're going to root him on until it doesn't go well, and then we'll all turn our backs on him and hate him and wait for the next cycle to come through. But hopefully they hit on – I'm being facetious there, but hopefully they hit on the right guy. It's way, way overdue for this Jaguar team to be consistently winning.
Yeah. I look at that division, and the Bears obviously struggled this year, and you look at Minnesota, and you look at Detroit, and you look at Green Bay. All double-digit wins, all went to the playoffs. That's tough sledding. Where around here, you win 9 games, Tom. You win 10 games, you're going to win the division. So it got me to the point where I openly wondered, we've heard all the reasons why Ben Johnson would not come here. Could one of them have been he thinks Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, I think that's factored in. I don't think that's the only reason, but not just better or maybe not better, but younger. Trevor's going into his 5th year. Doesn't mean you can't correct some things and get him in the right direction, hone that talent in because he does have plenty of it. But as a second-year player, you get to mold the clay a little bit more. Maybe not have some bad habits that you're going to have to break with Trev, or if he can break them on his own. But I think that plays into it. I also think, look, and we all do this, Rick. You look at Ben Johnson in Detroit, and rightfully so, but we don't have that talent. We don't have those running backs. We don't have that O-line, nowhere near it. We got Brian Thomas Jr. That's a good one-on-one for Jameis Williams. Our tight ends aren't too far off from Laporta, but Laporta's really, really good. So, you to think that, you just plug him in and everything's going to be great. No, we don't have that talent here, and I think it is factored in. And Ben Johnson said, you know what? I can work with Poles. I like Chicago. I like the challenge. And I like the QB, and I like that he's still young. So at least experience-wise in the NFL.
Tom McManus, our guest, former Jaguars linebacker. He joins Rick Ballou right here on your home of the Jaguars, 92.5 on the FM. All right, let's say Shad and Tony Khan, Trent Baalke, they call you Tom McManus, and they bring you in to sit down with these candidates. What, as a former player, give us a couple of things that you would look for more than anything else that you would want in this next head coach.
I want an attitude changer. They got to change the attitude in the locker room. They got to change the attitude inside that whole organization, especially with the football staff and its players. I mean, it's enough's enough of just showing up and thinking you can just show up. Enough's enough of the same mistakes over and over and over. I mean, you go through the nine of those losses, 10 of them, they're all done by the same way because guys are out of position or they forget their route or they miss a block or they have an illegal formation that kills the drive. I mean, it happened game after game after game. So that's got to change. And look, maybe Liam Cohen can do that. And I'm all for it if he ends up being the guy. He wouldn't be my choice. I want a retread. I do. And I don't know if Robert Saleh is the guy, but I want a guy like that maybe learned from his first time around. No, his record wasn't that great. I get it. But there are factors in that, too. We want to factor in everything that fits the narrative sometimes, but you got to factor in other stuff, too, when you're talking about everybody. So, look, and again, we're not in the interviews. If you're in the interviews, it's a different story. But to answer your question, I need a guy that's going to hold my team accountable. Not say we'll get him next week. Not say, oh, we'll clean it up. Oh, on paper it looks good. It should work. No, we got a guy that has to hold these guys accountable. And get guys in here that care and make them care, Rick. Because, look, when you're making mistakes as they did all year long in the secondary, in the linebacking core, with the receiving core, they made them all year long. That tells me they don't really care as much as they need to. Mm-hmm. And you got to get somebody in there that makes sure that, A, you got the right leaders in the locker room, the veterans that are going to speak up, and that you are filling that locker room with the right guys. So, I know Balky's got a big piece of that. Hopefully he can find at least a coach that can get that ship righted. We got to calm the seas, man. We're in open water and we're bleeding. The Sharks are coming. I mean, 4-13 is absolutely despicable for a team that has so much promise. It's all attitude, Rick. I'm telling you right now, it's not necessarily all talent. They got to upgrade the talent. They need some more beef inside on both sides of the line. But it's not. It's mostly attitude. It's mostly preparation. It's mostly not making mistakes and not doing what they were doing and actually giving a crap about their performance. So I think that's the kind of coach. No, not I think. That's the coach I want in there. Somebody that's going to give it to them straight, give them credit and recognition when they do well, and get on their ass when they don't, because that's their job. Just do your job. What's my job? I'm a professional football player. Great. Guess what? It's one of the greatest jobs in the history of jobs in the entire world. It's one of the best ever, and one day it's going to be over. And for you to not take it seriously every single week, that's got to change. And it's only going to change with the right leadership outside the locker room and inside the locker room.
Comments from former Jaguars linebacker Tom McManus joining Rick Ballou. I've known you forever, since the mid-'90s. You played for Coughlin in college. You played for Coughlin here. You knew what was going on then, and everything you just said was outstanding. But the game has changed so much, Tom, where it's like equal rights for players. And I know it drives you, former players, crazy. It drives me crazy in a way as an old member of the media. Things you just said make total sense, but how do you find the right guy now who can't discipline these players the way that they once were?
Well, I think this is how you discipline players today, and you got to have an owner that's going to give you that authorization. You got to get them off the field. You got to make a statement. You got to sit them on the bench. I mean, the money's just going to continue to grow, and that's okay, man. That's great. But they're not going to be motivated by that. They got to be motivated by winning. And the only way to win is to make sure that you don't keep screwing up the games week after week. And when you do that, your butt's got to go on the bench, or you just got to be put in a situation that you may not like Eric. Now all of a sudden he wants to play inside. Well, he didn't know that week 3 when we needed you. You should have been inside the entire year. You know what I mean? Why doesn't somebody inside that locker room say that to him? Like, yo, Eric, we need you inside. You know we need you inside. Why aren't you inside?
How did that change? I mean? When you played, there were plenty of people in the locker room that would have stood up and said something. How did this change the way that it did?
Well, listen, I think the key to any successful football organization, and maybe all sports organizations, it's not the talent and the scheme, Rick. It's the talent with the scheme and the right kind of person and player inside that locker room. Guys that really care. You get a bunch of veterans that have been through it. They know how to be prepared. They're not going to make the same mistake over and over again. They're going to be in great condition. They're going to take care of their bodies. They're going to make the right decisions off the field. Because why? Because they want to win. I mean, look, I don't care who you are in the National Football League. When you're watching these great playoff games, as we've been witnessing and going to continue to witness, it stings that you're not out there. Every player should not every player does, because I'm sure a lot of them are like, I got paid. I don't really care. But there's enough players out there and enough that are going to be coming from college into the NFL that do care. You got to get to those guys. Those are the ones you got to bring into the locker room. Don't bring me a guy that won't play tackle. Don't bring me that. Don't give me this crap that the coach wouldn't let him play tackle. That's a bunch of garbage. Makes no sense whatsoever. And he came in before that, Eric did. I'm sorry to pile on him, but he came in and said, yeah, they recruited me as an end. Said I was going to play end. So I'm playing end. Well, you're better as a tackle. So where's that team-first mentality?
Exactly.
How many times do my safeties got to be freaking out of position, Rick? How many times are they going to jump on the underneath route when they send somebody over the top?
No.
How many times are they not going to be there? And how many times did opposing offenses attack our safeties because they knew they'd be out of position? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, again, and I'll go back, and I know, look, Detroit, the way they lost, terrible, a great year, what have you. But I'll just go back, use them as an example. You can use others. But when Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes sat down, this is public knowledge. He said it. He said, we didn't talk about talent and scheme. We talked about what kind of guy do we want on our team. What kind of guy? How about a guy that for 10 months out of the year sacrifices everything for the betterment of the team?
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy we want. But you got to have guys that want that. And they're out there. They're out there, Rick, because guess what? Look at all these other teams that are doing well. You don't think they care? You don't think that they're coming to play every single week? You don't think that they're being held accountable? I'd say we'd be wrong if we made that comment. These teams, Kansas City, they don't just show up. Andy Reid holds them to a standard of accountability, and you better do the job with the right attitude, or guess what? He'll find somebody else that will.
Tommy, outstanding as always. Most importantly, when is the dad's bods getting back out on the stage?
I appreciate that. Dad bods are going to be at Iggy's in Fruit Cove on February the 8th, and we are making our debut, Rick, you're not going to believe it, at Ragtime in Atlantic Beach. Yes, we're playing at Ragtime on February 22nd. It's a Saturday night. Bucket list, kind of. Yeah, man, I've been going to that place forever, watching and listening to great tunes, great live music, and now the dad bods are going to be doing it.
I'll see you at Iggy's. I mean, that's right down. That's a Tom McManus driver in Threewood from where I live.
That's right, baby.
All right,
That's
man.
right. Looking forward to seeing you. Thanks, Rick.
Always a lot of fun. There he goes. Thank you. Tom McManus, former Jaguars linebacker, joining us here on Into the Night. I love the emotion. And there's a guy who gets it. There's one. I just think it's so hard to find the right coach for these players. I think it's so hard to find the right players. Those teams in the 90s, man, they were filled with alphas who were leaders. This team doesn't have leaders. They lead by example, right? You don't have a loudmouth leader. You don't have a guy on this team right now that'll hold the players next to them accountable. I don't like saying that. I get no joy in saying that. It is the truth. You never should have said goodbye to Mercedes Lewis. You never should have said goodbye to Calais Campbell. You don't have any leaders on this football team. And Eric Armstead was supposed to be the second coming of Calais Campbell? What a colossal mistake that was. Let's get some reaction from you. 641-1010, best way to join us. Text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Around this time last year, I was celebrating. Why? Because I had reached my goal of dropping 40 pounds with a Waco 180. It felt great. We all set goals, but most times we don't have a plan to hit them. So it's not really a goal. I'd call it more of a wish, and we know how that saying goes. With a Waco 180, I didn't wish the weight away. I had a plan, and this time I knew I'd reach my goal, and I did it. 40 pounds gone in just 2 months. Simple. That was a year ago, and I haven't put on a pound. How do I feel? Like $1,000,000. Like the horizon line that looked so far away all those years is now right in front of me. And it's a brand new day. And it's time to seize it. Night and day from where I felt carrying around all that weight, having to untuck my shirts, winded trying to tie my shoes. If you're overweight, you know what I mean. Set your goal and know you'll reach it with the solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
New year, new beginnings, and a new roof. Start 2025 with peace of mind and take advantage of Universal Roof and Contracting's limited time offer. 15% off all roof repairs and replacements. From leaks to full replacements, call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection today. This special New Year deal ends January 31st. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
It's New Year's resolution time, so why not skip the guilt and do something you'll actually stick to, like fixing that leaky faucet, unclogging that drain, or getting your AC ready for the summer.
Duck Rooter is here to help you keep this resolution, investing in your home.
Start the year off right with Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Call us today at 904-862-6769, because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Pacifico is brewed for those who let go of the things that don't matter and hold on to the ones that do. That's living life anchors up.
Pacifico, found in Baja, imported by surfers. Ask for a Pacifico when you're ready to live life anchors up.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
Making a difference in our community for 2025? Paul Martinez here, President and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. The Boys and Girls Clubs offers a safe environment to youth every day with homework assistance, a hot meal, career readiness, and character and leadership programs. 57% of club alumni say the Boys and Girls Club saved their lives. Help us grow our outreach as we serve the kids in our community throughout our 59 clubs. Go to bgcnf.org to donate and learn more.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. RJ Saunders here with 1010XL, and okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours. The big game is almost here, and Sonny's Barbecue wants you to win a barbecue feast. Text Sonny's to the text line brought to you by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010 for your chance to win. 641-1010.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tommy McManus, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a guy who hurts when this team loses. And, covering the team from its infancy, it was a different world then. It truly was. It felt like those guys really cared about losing. And, there's two things that stick out to me this year that I can't erase. Number one is in Philadelphia, where Josh Hines-Allen, during an interview that I did with a couple of other members, I think there was only 4 members of the Jacksonville media in Philadelphia, where he came out and said, what a great game. And he saluted and said everything was great, and they lost. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then the other one was after the game in Las Vegas, where the Raiders game, where they allowed that 5-play, 70-yard drive with no time left in the fourth quarter. And you got Dewey telling us he's Ed Reed, and how he's a gamer, and how he's a baller, and how he needs to be a starter. And behind him, you can hear players laughing. This is minutes after a loss. This is a huge thorn in my side. And it's not only in Jacksonville. It's all over the place. Today's players don't give a rat's ass when they lose. That check clears, they are on to their next opponent. And I overstate this. I say it perhaps too much, but it's how I feel. It drives me crazy that you are so wounded on a Sunday and your week is ruined beginning on Monday. And it rains here every single Monday after the Jaguars lose again. And it feels like these guys don't even care. It's terrible. It's awful. And again, it's not only in Jacksonville, it's all over the place. All right? That is today. There's not the same appreciation and respect for team athletics today that there once were. And I don't care who you are or what you try to sell me on. It's true. It really is. 1223 says, Ballou, that McManus talk is making me want to run through a wall. Exactly. There's a lot, McManus is very animated, very emotional. Well, there's a lot of former Jaguars in this town who are just like him. You ready to run through a wall, Dylan?
When McManus comes in here every Friday,
yeah,
I kind of am.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only person I know that comes here every Friday. I mean, I only see him once a week. He brings energy, regardless of what time of year it is, in season, off season, excited.
Uh-huh.
I can't imagine what he was like when he was playing.
He's an effort guy. He's a blue-collar guy. And he asked Tom Coughlin for a tryout. It's in his book. I mean, I don't know if you ever read his book, which is primarily on his dad, who served in our country. I enjoyed reading his book years ago. And I knew Tommy really well. I used to do a lot of radio with Tom way back in the day, and I've always loved his style. But, you give me 53 Tom McManuses, I'll tell you one thing. There's never going to be a question of effort. And if you don't get out of there with a W, you're going to see 53 guys that are silent, and they're not going to be cracking jokes and having a great time and doing that like you see today. I don't know how you're going to fix that attitude. I don't know who you're going to be able to hire that's going to be able to change that. Is a 39-year-old Liam Cohen as a first-time head coach, is he going to be able to do that? Is he going to make Eric Armstead tick Is he going to get Josh Hines-Allen to be consistent week after week? Is he going to get the safeties to stay in position? Is he going to be able to get these linebackers to cover? They can't cover anyone. They can't cover anybody, those linebackers. I don't care if they're in a 3-4, 4-3, what they do. Is he going to get that offensive line that has been as soft as puppy poo for the last half decade? Is he going to ignite a flame? I mean, how are you going to fix this? You need some alphas, man. You need some real go-getters. Darnell Savage has the it factor. Remember that? Darnell Savage is a dog. Maybe he is.
All the free agents they signed.
Okay.
Darby's a lot of experience, playoff experience, a leader. Eric Armstead.
No. Mitch
Gabe
Morris.
Davis. These guys.
No. Didn't work. No. None of them. None of them brought anything. Morris was average. And he's got 1 season left. You better address center. He's got 1 year left. Leaders are that. The offensive line should be the identity of your football team. Who's that imbecile? And I say that because that's the way they say it with the Three Stooges. Not imbecile, but imbecile. Jason Kelsey taking off his shirt. I mean, what an idiot. What a child, right? But look at the crowd. And look at that offensive line. Look at what he was like. I can't stand Kelsey because of what he said about you, calling out you, Jaguar fans. Totally unprofessional, totally uncalled for. Pick on the organization. I'll agree with you. Don't pick on the fans. The fans do their part. The fans want people to be like Kelsey. Kelsey's a guy, even though I can't stand him, who cared when they lost. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm trying to get across to you right now? Oh, he's got long arms. Oh, he did, he gave us this on the 3-cone, the 3-cone drill. Oh, his hips, he can turn and run. It's all these measurements. It's all the science. It's all the analytics. What about finding true leaders and football players who can change the identity of this team? A team that has become comfortable with losing. A team that has accepted losing. That is your Jaguars. And regardless of who the new head coach is, you got to take that on. Now, you can change it. Look at what Dan Quinn did. Dan Quinn, new general manager. Dan Quinn, new owner. Dan Quinn, new head coach. Dan Quinn, new offensive and defensive coordinator. Dan Quinn drafted a brand new quarterback. They turned that entire organization around in 1 year. They are now in the NFC Championship game, and no one had Washington anywhere near that game. It can change. But it is hard, bro. It is brutal. God, I feel for you coaches out there. I really do. I can't imagine what that must be like nowadays to try to actually do your job with how soft athletes are mentally. No discipline anymore. You can't scold. You heard McMahon. McManus got scolded all the time by Coughlin, both in Chestnut Hill and here. You can't coach that way anymore. You got to be soft. Got to be kind. Equal rights for players. Hour number 2 of Rick Ballou is coming up.
1010XL.
I'm talking about friendship, loyalty, honor. Okay?
Honored to be your friend. Honored to serve you Jacksonville Sports Radio.
That's the corniest thing I've ever heard.
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Before the Great American Race on Sunday, the high banks of Daytona heat up with a Saturday night showdown in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Experience the intense competition up close on the sport's biggest stage to kick off the 2025 season. The NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona International Speedway, Saturday, February 15th. Tickets start at just $49, and kids 12 and under are free in general admission. Secure your seats now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Kick off the new year with a new look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% on their energy-efficient windows and patio doors, designed to keep your home comfortable all year. Plus, zero down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Don't go through another year with all that high-interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan makes it easy to pay off all your credit cards or tackle that 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's AI-driven tech gets you approved and funded in as little as 1 day. One client got $150,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off all their credit cards, 2 cars, and personal loans, saving over $1,500 per month. With low fixed rates and lightning fast transfers, you can do it too. Consolidate debt, improve your home, take control of your finances. Imagine being credit card debt-free by this time next week. You can. Don't wait. Call Loan Pronto now, 904-999-1508, or visit loanpronto.com. Get your free quote now with no hard credit pull at 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, poker fans! The Best Bet Winter Open Series returns to Best Bet Jacksonville from January 23rd to February 2nd. Satellites into the $1,500 main event kick off January 4th. Take your shot at big payouts with 8 action-packed events and $500,000 in guarantees. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details. That's bestbetjacks.com. And we'll see you at the Winter Open starting January 23rd.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here. If you think you have problems related to the need to sell your home, we have solutions. And by we, I don't mean me. I mean ChadandSandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com. Call them today at 904-414-6200. Look, the problems could fall into a variety of areas. Maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Maybe you need more space with a growing family. Doesn't matter what the problems are. You go to Chad and Sandy, those problems are fixed. With all the recent talk about interest rates and economic uncertainty, you may be wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will you get the price you need? What about repairs or showings? The good news, you don't have to figure it out by yourself. You call my agents, Chad and Sandy Newman. They will deliver. Your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. The success stories are rolling in from all over town. Find out for yourself. Call Chad and Sandy today. That's Chad, ANDSandy.com.
Ring in the new year with a new boat. Don't miss the Jacksonville Boat Show, January 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Presented by ViStar Credit Union. Tickets at boatjacks.com. Come buy a boat.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I think McManus plays a little bit of Prince. Dad bods. They get after it. They'll be coming up a couple of dates. I'll let you know as we get closer to the actual event. Hopefully it's warmer by then. I think their first gig is February 8th, February 9th. I think he said a couple of minutes ago. So appreciate Tom McManus. By the way, no compensatory picks this year for the Jaguars. NFL draft only 93 days away. It'll be here before you know it. The NFL, genius. Coaches right now, NFC Championship game, 2 weeks off. All the rubbish. You know, Roger Goodell telling us 18-2 is the logical choice. 18 regular season games. 2 preseason games. We'll have other conversations when he makes his State of the NFL address. Always very interesting to hear from Roger Goodell. And then, bam, it's free agency. You know what? Senior Bowl, East-West Shrine the week prior. It's actually in a week, East-West Shrine. It's incredible. The NFL is just, it's amazing. They just keep you involved in their game year-round. And, you know, it is brilliant. Around here, though, trying to figure some things out. Hey, first things first, I mentioned it with Ichiro, one vote short of being unanimous. All right, he was elected to the Hall of Fame today along with CeCe Sabathia and Billy Wagner, the only player to ever be unanimous. Did you know this, Dylan, before we saw it?
I did not.
Mariano Rivera. Okay. And this is why, in a lot of ways, I get really bothered by my profession, especially news and politics. I mean, that is just filthy. But old stodgy writers, I mean, how do you not make Ty Cobb unanimous? How do you not make Walter Johnson or Cy Young unanimous, or Babe Ruth or Lou Gehrig or Jackie Robinson or Roberto Clemente? I mean, there's a list of 50 guys.
I got the highest percentage, guys.
You know that the year that Ted Williams hit 406, he did not win the MVP because he had such a feud with Boston Riders. I think Joe DiMaggio won.
Okay.
Who was pretty good himself. But what do you have?
Jeff Passan, about 30 minutes ago, put out the highest Baseball Hall of Fame voting percentages. Mariano Rivera's 100. Both Ichiro and Jeter 99.7, so they both missed one vote to get unanimous. Ken Griffey Jr. got 437 and 440, so he was 99.3%. And then Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, 98.8, and Cal Ripken Jr. had 98.5.
Do you see Hank Aaron or Babe Ruth on there? Or Willie Mays?
No. This is just
that is just appalling. That is appalling. Wow. But, you know, writers did that. And, you know, anyway, at least that was back in the day where there was, and we were told that was true journalism.
So Babe Ruth
back in the day,
95%.
All right, that's not as bad as I thought.
Okay, and who was the other one you wanted?
Willie Mays or Hank Aaron? I mean, you mentioned the greatest players of all time. Those are three that are going to get mentioned. You know, as a matter of fact, I still think Hank Aaron's a little bit underrated.
Hank Aaron, 97%. Willie Mays, 94%.
Yeah. Hank Aaron, doesn't always get mentioned with Ted Williams and Babe Ruth and Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle. He should. All-time leader in home runs before Bonds broke it, all-time leader in RBIs, and also one of the greatest statistics of all time. If you take away Hank Aaron's 755 home runs, he still had more than 3,000 hits. Think about that one. Let's get back to the Jaguars. Liam Cohen will visit tomorrow, reports say. Patrick Graham Thursday, Robert Saleh Friday. Tom McManus telling us about getting a coach who has done it before. I actually like that idea. You know who right now really would inspire me and I think would be a great choice, and I haven't seen it anywhere, is Cliff Kingsbury. Now, you may tell me he got fired at Texas Tech and he got fired at Arizona, and I'll sit back and I'll listen to you on that. But Cliff Kingsbury has been in that seat before. He knows what it's like to be a head coach, and he has done wonderful things with the Commanders. Liam Cohen may be the guy. He may be the greatest hire that this organization has ever made, and we all hope that that is the case. Bottom line, we don't know. To me, this is a big drop-off. I made no secret about it. I wanted Ben Johnson. I thought Ben Johnson was perfect for this job. We don't know why he didn't come, right? Diana Rossini said it didn't set up, wasn't in line, the setup the way that he wanted it. The automatic feeling is it was bulky, right? I am a believer in that as well, but it could have been more than that. Maybe it was simple. Maybe it was as simple as Ben Johnson believes Caleb Williams is better. What if he honestly believes that Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence? To me, it's a drop-off from Ben Johnson to Liam Cohen, but I will absolutely acknowledge the fact that Ben Johnson was in the top 5 in total offense, scoring offense, rushing offense, passing offense, and third down percentage. He was in the top 5 in every single one of those categories. Godwin went out. Evans went out. He did it and totally resurrected the career of Baker Mayfield. He did it with a rookie tailback. He did some really impressive things. He is the hot guy right now. And if he is hired, I think that's best case scenario. There are others, and I'm getting a lot of play here on Robert Saleh. And I know that for some of you, you're like, what? He was 20-36. He never made it to the playoffs. One issue I'd have with Saleh, and it may be unfair, but I'm going to speak on it anyway, is leader of men. Okay? What I've been saying forever, and you heard McManus's comments last hour about changing the attitude, the identity of this football team. Well, Robert Saleh got walked on by Aaron Rodgers. Now, this organization doesn't have an Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers has been a jackass his entire career. But still, that worries me a little bit. Saleh, I think, lost the one-on-one battles with Aaron Rodgers. And does that scare away the Jaguars? In my opinion, right now, Cohen is offered this gig. Saleh is the fallback. I'm really shocked here by Bovada, which is a betting entity. They have equal odds right now at this present time for Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator of the Las Vegas Raiders, and Liam Cohen at both plus 225. What the heck do they know? I haven't heard Patrick Graham anywhere outside of a second interview. I had a Saleh, who's plus 325, and Joe Brady, who's plus 450. So, that is where you go. The earliest they could do it would be Friday, right? The Rooney Rule, you got to have 2 in-person interviews with minorities. Patrick Graham on Thursday, Robert Saleh on Friday. So the earliest that Jacksonville could hire their next head coach would be Friday. And I imagine that would be in the PM. You know, it could happen over the weekend. It could happen very early next week. I got to believe that where they're at right now, I'm still surprised Las Vegas hasn't inquired on Cohen. I know they have now on Joe Brady. Apparently Aaron Glenn walked out of the building in New Jersey today. That was was it Rappaport or Schefter who
It's
said
been a couple of them now. ESPN reported it.
the goal was to keep him in the building. Apparently they didn't get that done, even though there's a lot of talk that Aaron Glenn and Lance Newmark is the assistant general manager of the Washington Commanders. He's been there for a year. He spent 25 years in Detroit, knows Aaron Glenn really well. That still feels like that is where that is going to end up. A lot of people here wanted Aaron Glenn, right? It feels like he's on his way to the New York Jets. So, and it's the very latest there, and we are tracking it as we continue to move into the night right here on this Tuesday edition. Okay, let's get a couple of these in. $15.99 Blue. Awesome Adam here. These players are now soft. Both teams win every week because they're all getting their checks no matter what. Yeah, it's very disheartening. It is. And, you know, some people can just compartmentalize it, right? And that losses don't affect them the way that they affect others. And I'm getting it, and I've been getting it forever. I'm not buying season tickets anymore. Bulky's there, that's it. They're not getting any more of my money. Folks, I'll never subscribe to that. I'll never be that guy that's going to tell you to do that. I know you're pissed. I know you're disgruntled. But these players still need your support, regardless of how they act once the game is over. Okay? I think this team is lacking a lot of appeal to you. There's not a lot of, you know, I think there's some young guys where there's a chance. I look at a guy like Jarian Jones. There's a chance there. Now, there's a vocal guy. There's the guy who got tagged after the concussion to Trevor Lawrence. Frankly, there should have been 50 guys, in my opinion. You know, and I'm not talking about doing things wrong, this and that, but every once in a while you got to show your quarterback that you got his back. This team didn't do enough of that, in my opinion. But I think there's a chance with a guy like Jarian Jones. I think there's a chance with a guy like Buster Brown, although I don't know if Buster can consistently play. I think there's a chance with Ventrell Miller, who I hated that he went out late in the season with an injury because, unfortunately, that's his calling card. You know, kid can't stay healthy. But I think you got some chances there. Devin Lloyd's a leader by example. You know, Trayvon Walker's a leader by example. This team needs vocal leaders. They need those type of players as well. And they don't have it. They don't have it on the offensive line. You got nothing on the offensive line. You don't. You just simply do not. Trevor's matured. He's shown a little bit more year after year after year. Your best player is almost unassuming in Brian Thomas Jr., right? I mean, that's what I'm looking at. If I'm being interviewed for this job, it's like, holy, who the hell are the leaders of this team? Let's see here. 28-35 Blue, you got to make the players care. Yeah, how's that going to happen? 13-33, you and Tom nailed it. The appearance from the fans' perspective is this team collectively lacks the drive to be great. From Con to every player, They owe the fans an apology for caring so little for the badge. Show that you give a damn. If I read that to those 53 players, 40 plus would laugh. They don't care. And many of them are gone. It's not all their fault. It's the game's fault. You come and you go. Non-guaranteed contracts, right? You're not good enough, you're out. Someone else is coming in. Love to blame them 100%, but I can't. You know, it's the way things have changed. And now it's part of college football as well. I love that whole thing about when we saw, you know, flag plant after flag plant. How many of those flag planters transferred like 3 days later? It's amazing. It really is. And it's the biggest challenge that sports fans deal with now. I mean, can you really change your stripes later in life? It's amazing. The answer to that question should be overwhelming no. Absolutely. You're born, you're raised, you're a fan. Your dad took you, your mom took you, your grandma took you, whatever it is, you're a fan. You've always been a fan. And the players and the coaches and everyone comes and goes, but you remain a fan. It's hard to be a fan right now. When it acts like these players don't care. I mean, that Eric Armstead, I'm glad McManus brought it up. That was just Bush League. It really was. He would have been better off pulling off a Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, and by the way, that's pretty poor as well, because therefore he's got to leave it up to his teammates to answer those questions. But he is a grizzled veteran who's a great football player who just had an awful game. So Eric Armstead says, I will play defensive tackle next year. Doesn't matter if Liam Cohen's the coach and he has an opinion, right? Eric Armstead has spoken. He'll play defensive tackle. What if they hire Patrick Graham? Maybe he has his ideas on what to do defensively. The Walter Payton nominee has stepped up after he did nothing here all year but eat and go to the bathroom. He's already said, I'll play freaking defensive tackle. Well, what if it's Robert? It doesn't matter if it's Robert Saleh. Eric Armstead has already said it. He's probably in Cancun right now or Mexico or Hawaii doing whatever. He's going to play defensive tackle. Just no. Wait till what your head coach says. Wait till what your defensive coordinator says. I'm sure he was his way of throwing Ryan Nielsen under the bus and throwing Doug Peterson under the bus. It's still really awful professionalism. It's a guy who just doesn't care. And you got to take that as fans. All right. Let's take a break. Why don't we do that, for crying out loud? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to happen one of these days, God willing, that we're all around to see it. But your Jaguars, they're going to win a Super Bowl.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
It is picked off by Rayshawn Jenkins. That is going to be a touchdown. The Jags are going to win it.
1010XL.
Are you kidding me?
Home of the Jaguars.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
Start your new year off healthy. Get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, and kidney. Early detection is key with 5 locations across Northeast Florida. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Yo, what's happening, sports bettors? ET here for my bookie. And it's winner go home with the AFC and NFC finals this weekend. So build that bankroll up for the big game. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads leads to New Orleans. This is your chance to get on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts right now with my bookie. MyBookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're backing the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet. If it doesn't hit, MyBookie got your bet. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll, my boy. MyBookie's online casino keeps excitement going 24/7. From blackjack to baccarat, roulette to slots. Haven't joined yet? Now is the time. Use my promo code 1010XL on your very first deposit, and MyBookie will hook it up instantly with a 50% deposit. With MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hacker here, and let me tell you, I've crushed some goals in my life, but this one is big. Under 200 pounds, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. My first goal was to lose 100 pounds. Honestly, that was a cakewalk. So I set my sights on breaking the 200-pound mark, and guess what? I just hit it. Now, I get it. Most of you don't have 120 pounds to lose like I did. Maybe it's 25 like Dempsey or 40 like Matt Hayes. But here's the deal. No matter how much weight you need to lose, Awaken 180 works, and we're proof. We can't hide these results, and we don't want to. Awaken 180 is proven. It's easy, and the weight pours off fast without a life of medications. You follow the plan, lose the weight, and it's gone for good. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Visit awaken180weightloss.com and see what you can accomplish. If we can hit these goals, you can too. 844-346-1800 or online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Instead of wasting money on resolutions you won't keep, why not invest in something that lasts? Like fixing that dripping faucet, clearing that clogged drain, or finally tuning up your AC. Call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. We'll help you keep your home in shape this year. It's the one resolution you won't regret breaking. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule service today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop, 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court. The Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Vanilla Ice?
Yes, sir.
I met him. He was in some bar in South Florida a few years ago. Pretty nice guy.
How much money do you think he made off this one song?
made a lot of cash off this song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. Reality's kind of set in with football now gone. I guess I could watch the late-night Capitals-Oilers game, see if Alex Ovechkin can get another empty net goal as he chases down Gretzky. Connor McDavid, by the way, suspended for 3 games. Tomorrow night, I'll watch the Knowles. They're at Cal. That's like a 9 p.m. tip. The Gators play tomorrow night as well, right? South Carolina?
7 o'clock.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Ice Baby made millions of dollars.
Did him?
Not publicly disclosed. It's just an estimation.
Didn't they get sued? Didn't Queen sue him? Yeah, I know Queen sued him. Yeah, they said it was he went out and made that without, contacting Freddie Mercury or Brian May or any of them. I know that actually did happen. I've been watching on Netflix Ferry.
I need to start watching that. I'll start that tomorrow.
Love Frank Lammers, who plays Ferry Bauman. He reminds me of my neighbor, and he's like, I can't even really explain him. He's like the most out of the ordinary leading man I've ever seen in any type of movie or series. But man, does he nail it. And I love his character. So he's like a former hitman. Now he's running pills, and there's a biker gang. So it's got a little bit of Sons of Anarchy in it. It's got a little bit of Breaking Bad in it. Got a tiny bit of maybe The Sopranos in it. And it's Dutch.
Came out in 2021.
Well, I just fell into it. I don't know how I did. But I've been enjoying that as of late. Alabama at Florida State. It's already out. Week 1. Alabama, 8.5-point favorite. Today, Nick Saban said he endorses Deion Sanders to the Dallas Cowboys. Wants him to get that job. I don't. I want Deion to stay at Colorado for at least 1 more year, maybe 2. I want Deion Sanders to be the head coach of Florida State.
Have you seen who the new Cowboys leader on Bovada is to be the next head coach?
Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore tied with Brian Schottenheimer.
Shotty? Okay.
That's a little surprising.
No. Notre Dame at Miami. Notre Dame favored by 3 at Miami. Carson Beck and company. LSU at Clemson. Clemson minus a point. This is opening weekend. Anything else stick out? Texas at Ohio State. The Buckeyes favored by 3.5. So there you go. That is week 1.
I love how every year you can bet Ohio State, Michigan, like middle of January. Games got pretty much 12 months ahead of you. You can still bet it. How much of a degenerate do you have to be to bet a game this far in advance?
I would say never, but I remember the Florida State at Miami. There was like one point that was either even or in the summer, Florida State was favored by like 2 or 3 points. By the time toe met leather, I think Miami was favored by like 21, 24 points.
What year was this?
This year.
Oh, wow. Oh, I do remember this. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And things are so bad for Florida State. They're not even listed in regular season win totals. Okay? They go from Florida to 6.5 to Georgia to 10.5. They didn't even put Florida State in there. Clemson 9, Auburn 5.5, Bama 9, LSU 8.5, Miami 8.5, Notre Dame 9.5, Michigan 8.5, Ohio State 11, Oklahoma 7, Mississippi 9, Penn State 10.5, Tennessee 9.5, Texas 10.5, Texas A&M 8, USC 7. They didn't even put Florida State on the list. How can you not make the list?
What would their over-under be if you had to put one out?
Well, they won 2 last year. I'll say 2.5. Now, I would say it'll probably end up being 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. They're going to lose on opening day. That's what sucks for Florida State fans is they've been dealing with all of this crap. And the weeks are going to go by and the months are going to go by. They know they're going to get hammered in Tallahassee on opening day by Alabama. There's just no way around it. 6383 says, hey, Rick, what's up? It's Marcus Matrix, a.k.a. Big Baby Drip. What's up, Big Baby Drip? You haven't sent me any music in a little bit. I believe if the Jaguars hire Liam Cohen, he'll be nothing more than what Nate Hackett was for the Denver Broncos. Hyper disappointed that will set Trevor Lawrence back even further. But they'd be a shining light. Yeah, DJ Lagway. Well, oh my gosh, man, do you really want to go down that road where in 2 years you're talking about having the top pick in the draft and rebuild again? Man, that would only be year 2 of a 6-year guaranteed contract for Trevor Lawrence. Ouch. You're going to eat those 4 years? That's a lot of money. I also see here the Heisman Trophy as a very proud Heisman Trophy voter. Lagway's like 5th or 6th right now on this list. What the heck did I do with it? I guess I lost it. Okay. Must have been something else. I'll get to that momentarily. 4493 Rick, why would they care what the narrative is in today's NFL if the NFL doesn't care for the players? You know what? In a way, that's kind of right. They preach CTE, they preach concussions, and then they tell you that they go into an 18-season, regular season games.
They're going to have to add IR spots if they're going to add another game.
They're going to have to add IR spots. They're going to have to add salary. They're going to have to, I think they're going to have to add roster spots.
Yeah. I mean, think about how many injuries we saw. I mean, just, one example with the Lions.
Yeah. They're going to have to add an extra bye. So instead of it being 18 weeks and 17 games, I think it becomes 18 weeks and 20 weeks and 18 games. I do. I think you need 2 byes. Now, as NFL fans, we're all going to love it, right? I mean, you can extend the season by 2 weeks? Sure. Does that move into, the deeper part of February? Isn't there a holiday? Was it President's Day? I mean, can you line it up where President's Day? The late David Lamb was the first I ever heard who said this. Why not make the Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday?
How long do you give it before the NFL moves up their week 1 the same week as college football? Because I think that's going to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, I read something that the NFL and college football are actually going to agree to be better managed next year, to not go head-to-head. Remember, you had some of those first-round games going up against NFL games, and they put them on what?
TNT?
Yeah. I mean, they put them on places that people couldn't even get the games.
Yeah.
And they should, by the way, Dylan, the NFL should do that for these kids in college, because they get 100% of their talent from these players, and the college football playoffs can build the brand of the NFL's next stars.
Yeah, that's where basketball really hurts. I mean, all these guys in the NBA, how many years do you see the last couple of years, especially in the NBA draft? It's like, nothing about any of these guys that are being drafted.
Yeah.
And then they have to build themselves for like these 3, 4, maybe 5 years before you actually know who they are. The playoffs should really start right after conference championship to get the best ratings. But it's hard because the way college is set up, you want to start, your college football season right when school starts. And then some of them are on the quarter system. So really some of those schools out west, like I know like UCLA and Stanford, like they're not even in school. There's a lot of factors there.
78-63 been saying no dogs on this team since last year. Trevor needs to step up as the leader on the field. Defense needs a bad man at linebacker. Too many athletes, not enough football players. Ain't science. Yeah, you're spot on. They're missing some alphas. They really are. 39-61 Blue. Armstead was chip blocked by a running back to the turf. I cannot count how many times. Selfish football has caused more problems in the roster than any other problems. Cancel my tickets, yada, yada, yada. I hate that you cancel your tickets. I do. I will complain with you about so much of this, but I hate that it's come to that for you. That's sad. You know, especially here in a one-horse town. And yes, I respect minor league athletics and collegiate athletics, no doubt. But I'm talking about you got one of 32 teams in the NFL, and you have a rabid fan base. You have a fan base that I've watched improve year after year after year on the road, going to road games. The fan base is growing. And, you know, I've heard this forever. When you don't make a change at quarterback, head coach, general manager, whatever. This is the first year I kind of believe it. I mean, the whole world was shook 2 Mondays ago. Let's face it. The city was really shook. And the good news for Jacksonville is time does heal a lot of wounds in sports. It does. And here we are dealing with this brutal winter in Duval. And there's going to be a little bit more excitement once this coach is announced. And then once we start talking about Senior Bowls and the Combine and the Senior Bowl and the East-West Shrine, and before you know it, it's free agency. This team can spend. They have cash. Go out and get immediate starters. Followed up by the draft, where you got capital, you got 10 picks, including the 5th overall, right? And what, the 37th? You got a chance to get 2 really good football players, more starters. And then you go through the long summer, and you have those off-season workouts, which I absolutely love. I love the off-season more than in-season because you don't have to put a loss next to it. You can always just look at where they are and what could be. To me, that's so much more doable. I love that. I love the offseason for the reasons that I just gave you. It's not stamped with a loss on Sunday. It doesn't come with a loss. When you're talking about the next prospect or the next free agent signing. Now, they better do better in free agency. The last 2 years have been awful. I mean, just terrible. 2023 and 2024 in free agency has been absolutely atrocious. Trent Baalke's drafts have a chance to end up being good the last couple of years. Free agency? No. No. Been terrible. Last year, maybe the worst free agent cost they've ever had. Ronald Darby, Gabe Davis, Eric Armstead, Devin Duvernay, Savage, Morse. Really bad. And the 23 one, I don't even think any of those guys are still here that they signed in 2023. I'll actually look at that. I'll mention it on the other side.
May I speak? You have my permission. My sensors indicate the presence of aliens. How many? 10 XL. This is imperative. Imperative indeed.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Do the garter wiggle, 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 wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us and 2025 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to just stop and say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming by and giving us the chance to help. You know, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry. But at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods, their trust. And it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores. And we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJacks.com.
I open the door and take you inside the locker room to get you closer to the field, the players and coaches you care about.
Get a look at Hayes' blog on 1010XL.com.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
The team at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to book your next round of golf with us. At Hidden Hills, we love the game, and we'll provide you with a memorable golf experience at one of the most unique golf courses in North Florida. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House. If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Millard Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Millard Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Millard Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Millard Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. Okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, today pretty silent with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Reports are out that Liam Cohen will interview tomorrow, Patrick Graham Thursday, Robert Saleh Friday. And that would be 3 interviews face-to-face. It would be a second for Robert Saleh on Friday. If it does go this way, they would have completed everything that they have to do as far as the Rooney Rule and are free to hire. So you could hire a coach Friday. Been all over the place in Tampa trying to get the latest. Just not getting anything at all, which is good news for Jaguars fans, on Todd Bowles as to whether or not he could be let go. He's won 3 straight divisional titles. However, he's got a record of 27-24, 1-3 in the playoffs. He's 28-27 in his career. But they like him. And I just don't think it makes sense to make that move now. I think Tampa would be under a lot of fire if they made that move simply to keep Liam Cohen. So we will see. 84-89. Leaders being there by example, didn't play, yada, yada, yada. Get his work ethic. They say it's great, but he's not a leader. They're talking about Josh Hines-Allen. I think Josh Hines-Allen leads at times. He's been voted captain every year except for one. I don't think he's a great leader. I think he's a leader, not a great one. This team doesn't have a great leader. And look at the money they just spent. Look at the 4 signings. The money they spent on Hines-Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Tyson Campbell, and Walker Little. All 4 lacking with leadership. Yeah, I want to say Trevor's improved. I do. You know, I want to say that. But I don't know where he is as a leader. I don't. And you know, I analyze things all the time. There wasn't enough response when he went down. That spoke volumes to me. Oh, hey, Ballou, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Yeah. Screw that. You should have blown up Aziz. Not this team. And Doug Peterson said it immediately after the fact. Oh, I got to go have a conversation with Jarian Jones. We can't do. What do you mean you can't do that? They just knocked out your quarterback for the season. Where's the leadership? I like Walker Little. I was disappointed he missed those 65 snaps per game at the end of the year. I thought it was very valuable for him. Is he a leader? This organization treated Walker Little like dirt for 3 years. No one was mistreated like him. Oh, we got to play Cam at left tackle. Oh, my God, it's Cam. Walker Little's your best. You know, Cam's selfish. He gets popped for 4 games for popping PEDs. You put Little in there, he's your best offense. Oh, no, it's Cam. Let's slide Walker Little inside. I'm surprised he re-signed here. I'm glad he did. He's certainly not a leader. That's not his mentality. Tyson Campbell? He had that great line about the Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday, right? And outside of that, though, you hear very, 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 very little out of Tyson Campbell. Look at all the money you gave those 4 guys. You can't force someone to be a leader. Jalen didn't want to be a leader. He told us he didn't want to be a leader. Look at the types of leaders you had with Puzzlesny. Look at the type of leader you had in a Telvin Smith. Look at the type of leader you had in a Calais Campbell. Look at the type of leader you had in a Malik Jackson. Tashawn Gibson. All right, Colvin kind of went crazy. He was part of the Jalen camp, if you will. You know, and Telvin became part of that. But those guys were dogs, man. Say what you want about Jalen Ramsey. The guy's crying on the bench because they were losing. When's the last time you've seen someone around here get really upset when this team loses a game? I know how you feel with Jalen. I know it. I get it. The man was crying. That man wanted to win. McManus said it earlier. I totally agree with him. You needed a total identity change in order to fix this football team.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Hacker Nation is here.
Nasty outside.
Is it?
Very nasty.
Is it spitting out there? Any rain?
No, it's raining pretty good. It was 35 degrees when I pulled in, so I got family out in the Panhandle. Pretty good snow in Pensacola right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Has Forrest ever seen snow in Maine? Or
Oh,
like
yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah. My wife's
So he's a
family.
veteran.
Yeah. We always fly into Portland. Funny story. First time I ever go visit my in-laws. They were not my in-laws at the time. I thought there was no difference between like 20 degrees and like -5. I thought cold was cold.
Oh, yeah.
That is not true because we flew into Portland, Maine, like January of like 2014. It was -5 with a wind chill of -15. I don't know how people do it up there, but they don't understand how we can live in 95-degree weather down here.
I'll take it any day.
Yeah, it's just what you're used to, I guess.
Yeah, I'll take it any day. I've experienced both, and the cold is absolutely brutal.
It's horrible. Horrible.
What's the latest? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess all eyes on Liam Cohen. Are we officially, we're on a winter storm advisory. Are we on a Liam Cohen watch? Maybe tomorrow will be a Liam Cohen warning.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to come in, tomorrow or Thursday?
Yep.
They can officially hire somebody, I guess, after they interview Patrick Graham, because you have to interview 2 minorities in person to suffice for the Rooney Rule. And I think at this point, Rick, Cohen's the head coach, and one of the other 2, Saleh or Graham, the DC, I think you got to be pretty happy with that if that's the way it lands.
Yeah, if you can get that, and I've heard obviously a lot more for Saleh, but we know that San Francisco apparently is going to offer him a pretty nice deal. If you're Robert Saleh, do you take the defense here after the Jaguars were nearly last in every defensive category? Or do you go to San Francisco where they typically have a good defense?
Yeah, that's what I was talking with my buddies about it. You would probably get more credit here because they don't have the players, but would you have the success here that you would in San Francisco? It's an interesting quandary for Saleh. But if you land on Liam Cohen and one of those other 2 as your defensive coordinator, that would, I think, salvage this coaching search and make yesterday not feel as miserable as it did.
Yeah, it was a tough day for him. All right, what's coming up tonight? What do you got?
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of Liam Cohen talk really the rest of the week. We're going to kick it off tonight. Luke Easterling of Athlon Sports, who was in Tampa for many years around that Buccaneer organization. We're going to talk Liam Cohen with him. Also, Mike Patton's the host of the Touring the AFC South podcast. New GM in Tennessee. Obviously, there'll be a new head coach here in Jacksonville, so we'll do some AFC South talk as we head into the offseason.
All right. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
Hacker Nation is coming up. That's going to do it for us. We're back tomorrow, midweek, Wednesday, 6 to 8. Thank you to Tom McManus. Thank you to you, to all the folks on YouTube tonight. Appreciate it. On Twitter as well. Certainly the text line. I don't check YouTube or the text line now that the show is over, but you can always get me on Twitter or X. That is Ballou1010XL. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Folks, my name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk again tomorrow at 6 o'clock right here on your home of the Jags.